Hey guys, it's Merrick. I've got another gameplay commentary for you today. In this one, I'm playing Planetside 2 on NC with the Anchor. Anchor's an amazing, aggressive CQC weapon. It's not terrible in the mid and longer ranges if you know how to use it, but it's definitely made more for the CQC, and as such, I'm running the Compensator, the Laser Sight, and even Soft Point. Soft Point is better on 167 and 200 model weapons than it is on 143, at least in my opinion, so I actually tend to use that there, but even if given the option, I generally would run high velocity. Unfortunately, the Anchor does not have high velocity, so we're making do with what we got. I also have Sensor Shield on at the beginning of this session, and then I catch a handful of flashbangs, and then I change to Ocular Shield for the rest of it, as one would. So, starting off at Echo Valley, I throw a rocket at a Valkyrie as I'm coming out of the spawn room, but I don't see anything, so I continue to run up the point where it's flipping. As I'm running up there, though, I get flanked by two different people that kind of came out of nowhere, so I quickly do another run back. As I'm coming out, this one Valkyrie seems to have changed into a small flock of Valkyries, so I spend a little bit of time shooting at them to show my displeasure before I get back to pushing at the point. Having briefly inconvenienced the flyers, I go back to try to push onto point, only to get shot at by 6 different people as I leave the spawn room. I get some cover behind a tree, try to catch this guy on the right side, but when he eventually doesn't peek and hides back in the room, I start to slowly clear out the other angles and then swing on the main door. As I do that, there's an ally that tries to push out of the spawn room and into the building. He gets flanked by the highest skill infiltrator, but I'm able to catch him in the middle of the field without cover and take him out. After that, I check the other doorway to see if that guy is peeking, and when he's not, I start to wrap around so I can push under the doorway. Also seeing an opportunity, I decide to show my displeasure to the flyboys, and then knowing that this guy at the doorway was getting shot at from inside, I run past the doorway twice to get a scout on the top of the stairs. As I scout back, a infiltrator comes out of the wall like a Davy Jones crewman, and as I kill him, I get A to G'd by someone who landed a Valkyrie on the roof because they're too lazy to even fly to do some A to G'ing. I run through the teleporter and head to the other building, but as I run out of this building here, there's another Valkyrie parked on the other roof. I again briefly annoy it, and then as I'm heading outside, there's a guy on the tree. I give him a few tags, and when he doesn't leave behind the tree, I mail him a nade and happen to reload trying to go out the other door. He gets the nade with same-day shipping thanks to Planet Man Prime, and then somebody swings the corner close on me, but thankfully this is exactly where the Anchor does best. I continue through the banana, and then coming around the back side of the building, right as there's a push going in the front side, I manage to be in the perfect position to get a good flank, so I help with the breach. The breach goes relatively smoothly with me not helping out a whole lot, but then suddenly I walk into a zombie movie. I empty my magazine, dealing with the zombies as best I can. I go for the pistol, realize there's going to be way more zombies than that, so I just start swinging my knife at people as they're standing up. They just keep standing up, so I'm just sitting here doing what I can, trying to let them get a footing. And during this last round of zombies here, out of all the people I could possibly team kill, I managed to catch one of the Jaeger players who actually helped teach me the game. Overcome with emotion and thinking the fight's over, I decide to just flee the scene of my crime, only to see that there's actually a few more red people who take me out, but the fight is pretty much over, so I decide to head somewhere else. Winding up at Rhyme Analytics, I run out of spawn towards the point, catch 2 people off guard as I round the corner, but running through these 2 med fields, the TR technology must mess with the NC biology, because I go to shoot this guy and just manage to shoot nothing but his perfect outline. Running it back, I catch a fight with someone through the doorway, take a bunch of damage, and then when I re-peek, I try to trade with this guy, but I just don't have the health to do it. And then running back yet again, I catch a third person on the doorway, start to be halfway through the fight, and get re-peeked by the same gentleman yet again. Having not realized that there's way too much TR population here, I continue to spawn, but this time I'm able to catch another few people off guard, catch one as he's running up the stairs, and as I go up to chase after him, there's actually someone rapping on us. I catch that guy off, but I cannot get the other one pushing down the stairs, and I'm taken out. Simply unable to keep running it down mid at Rhyme, I'm forced to go back to Echo Valley, where it seems like there's yet another red push, and this one is a little bit more substantial. Unable to do a whole lot from here, I just spend a little bit of time shooting rockets at that barrier so that we can actually push up those stairs. I know if I leave that barrier up there, any random players will just try to jump over it and pretty much be free kills. So it's very important to take that out, because while you can try to push and jump over it, it's very, very difficult. Seeing a Max make a breach, I give it a second for him to clear a little bit of space, and then I immediately push in behind them and start pushing aggressively. I'm able to pick up a few on the angles, and then I get a nice flanking angle on the top of the staircase. I push the people off there, hit my reload, and then again immediately pushing up the stairs. I catch somebody coming in door 1 out of a drop pod, and I'm able to take him out. But as I get to the top of the stairs to where 50s is, there's actually a respawn happening, so I quickly use their own barrier to give me a shield. It seems like the 50s hallway is cleared, so I decide to hold by the 50s doors while I reload, and this is where I catch my first flashbang. After a little bit of praying and a whole lot of puckering, I manage to survive the flashbang, and I take a tight angle on this doorway right before I catch another flash, which I do also manage to survive. Then I'm able to take up a tight angle and help them clear out these rooms as the respawns come through. I try to be careful not to kill teammates while picking out the red that are going to be respawning and getting flanking angles. Managed to get a few of them, but the Anchor doesn't have the 100-round mag some of the other guns do because it's an aggressive pushing weapon, so I get caught reloading. Thankfully it was just some allied respawns, and I reset thinking the fight's over, only to see another massive red wave coming up the staircase this time. I'm actually a little out of position here to take off a few of them. If I had a C4, it would be a good spot, but I don't have a C4, so as soon as their barrier goes down, I realize my terrible position and I rotate out. But there's another wave coming from the back angle this time. I'm out of bullets. I'm ducking into the corner to pray. I rotate out of the doorway because I see more spawns. And basically, this is a whole lot of Benny Hill music while I'm trying to rotate to places where I get a moment to respawn. Eventually, I run out of luck. Someone does get a flank on me, and I have to respawn. I wish I had more bullets, but the Anchor's still really good in these CQC situations. Coming back out of spawn, the hectic fights have continued as this push is still happening. TR has reclaimed the building, but I'm able to get a few at the doorway before I get taken out. I go through the teleporter, and I decide to wrap around the other building yet again. I hit up this window and catch someone running across the bridge, and as I'm trying to fight with another one, a light assault swings really close on me, scares the shit out of me, but I am able to get the win on that fight. I stop and type for a minute as we lose the point, and then I push into Banana Building. Even though we don't have the point anymore, rather than redeploy, I know there's still some people running around, so I do what I can to clear them out. I take out an infiltrator, and then I see a flanking red dot on the minimap. I flip a 180 on him, and as I look across into the point room, I take a few shots at someone, don't manage to take them out, and then as I go to reload, I actually misjudge how long it would take that guy from the roof to get here, so I'm actually completely off guard when I turn the doorway, and he's already here. I see what looks like a containment site fight, so I immediately head for it, and it turns out this is actually just what the experience of a moth walking into a bug zapper is, as I spawn on the worst router that has ever been placed in the history of Planetside. I do a little bit of running around and I can't find a good fight, but then it looks like there's a fight going down at the crash site where NC is underpopped, so I head off there, immediately have to dodge a tank that's about to hit me, and if I actually hit this rocket, it would have been a free kill, but I'm a bot, and I let this tank survive. A medic shouts angrily at me and then fires some warning shots, only to give me enough time to heal. I manage to take him out, but he's got a friend. I don't have health, so I break it down, and I manage to shuffle away from a bunch of shots that should have killed me. Doesn't look like the guy is chasing me, so I try to go up over this to get an advantageous position, but as soon as I get up here, I see a bunch of people standing on a different building, manage to take them out, and I realize that there's absolutely no hope for this situation as our Sunder is dead and there's two angry tanks looking at me from across the field. I spam redeploy because it cannot go off fast enough. Eventually it takes, and I head up to Waterson's Redemption. I run to this building, and it takes me a second to realize that this guy is actually a dude up there. I looked at him for a few seconds before my brain actually accepted that was a person. I see a guy on the minimap who's swinging the door. He actually does manage to trade me, but considering I had no health, I thought that was pretty alright by me. Running around outside though, this fight is a little bit less happening than I thought it was. I try to pick up some people on the outskirts, and I push out towards where I assume one of their spawns is. Not to push to the spawn, but just because there's nothing else happening. I managed to pick up one there, and then I see a large grouping of both NC and some dead NC, which generally mean there's TR over there, and I work my way around the outside to head over to that direction. I swing close on someone that I saw, don't manage to get him because somebody else trades him, but because I looked the wrong way, someone shoots me from behind. I manage to swing a 180 and get the trade. I take a res because I don't want to walk all the way back, but I've resed into an absolutely terrible position. I managed to not instantly fall over, and I turn around expecting whoever shot me to chase overly aggressively, They are kind of ready for me, but I managed to win the trade. I start to shuffle away and try to retreat back. I see on the minimap that the front hold has completely collapsed, so I jump up onto this rock just in time to see a shit ton of people starting to run across the open field. Yet again, I really, really wish I had more than 50 bullets, because I see a shit ton of people there. Some guys are coming in from the other doorway. I get shot, I retreat back, I try to reload, but I don't have time. I have to eat another med stick. I try to run into the building, but they finally catch up to me. Again, if I just had more bullets, the situation could have been dealt with. I run out of spawn. As I'm heading up these stairs, I actually see an infiltrator. I chase him around the corner, and I'm actually like 80% sure the guy that I swing this corner on is not the same infiltrator that I saw. I can't prove that in a court of law, but I'm pretty fucking sure. But either way, I'm going to have to start bringing this segment to a close with about 50 kills in 18 minutes. A lot of this segment had a lot of really aggressive fights that involved aggressive repositioning to try to eke out as many kills as we could in the bigger engagements. If you can keep moving and keep putting cover between you and previous sightlines, you can really diminish and limit the amount of ability people have to take you out, and again, every little bit counts when you're in bigger fights like that. Especially because you can't possibly pay attention to every potential angle, just keeping active and keeping moving can basically be its own defense. At the same time though, I think most of the mistakes I made this segment were just positional mistakes, kind of aiming mistakes, and just continuing to push angles that were not favorable to me when I knew they weren't favorable to me, mostly because I just really wanted to be part of a fight. There is going to be a continuation of this segment. There is going to be a second part. I've just been very busy this week with the thing that I told you I was working on last week continuing into this week, so I wanted to make sure rather than put nothing out that I had a video for you guys. As always though, I appreciate your feedback, so let me know what you do like, let me know what you don't like, let me know what you think so I can improve my videos going forwards. Thank you guys for your continued support, and I'll see you guys in the next segment.